Okay, I've just received the email from TfL that tells me whether I've got the London Underground busking license. Oh. Let's find out whether I got it. Okay, so let me explain how I got to this point, and hopefully I can let you know how you could get to this point too. By the way, if it's not apparent, this audition was to get the London Underground busking license. And this is a video all about how getting one works. So first off, let's take a quick history lesson. The London Underground train network begins back in 1863, with different tunnels and networks being built up into the 1900s. The term underground and its iconic logo becomes familiar in 1908. Now there are a lot of significant moments across the history of the tube network. Its famous use as a shelter during World War II, the monarchy opening various new lines, and the introduction of electric trains over steam engines. But the most relevant for us street musicians is the legalization of busking, which happened in 2003. Before this, I guess it was a kind of free-for-all. So at the turn of the millennium, TfL decided to introduce authorized busking pitches that buskers that hold a valid permit can perform on. To get the permit, an audition process was established, and thus the London Underground busking license was created. Some big names have held this license over the years. Notable names including Jessie J, Bob Geldof, Catherine Jenkins, and my arch nemesis, Ed Sheeran. We're like Voldemort and Harry Potter. But what if I'm Voldemort? There are 39 authorised busking pitches across 25 stations, which can be identified by the semicircular graphic on the floor and typically some kind of advert sponsor as a backdrop. That's right, TfL get companies to sponsor these busking pitches. What a bunch of hustlers. So how do you get one of these licenses? How do you get an audition? The first ever London Underground busking auditions were held back in 2003, and supposedly they gave out 200 licenses. From then on, the auditions have been held every 2 to 3 years to refresh the licenses and the different musicians that play on the pitches, and everything was on track. Well conducted, going full steam ahead, until the 2020 pandemic situation derailed the whole thing. Okay, I'll stop the train puns. It was fun while it lasted. The last auditions to take place were back in 2017. The pandemic meant the next round of auditions never happened. That was up until the end of last year, 2023, when for the first time in 7 years, yes that's right, the last buskers to audition held their licenses for 7 years. For 7 years there has not been a refreshment of licenses, and therefore new musicians busking on the underground. Although I do believe busking on the underground took a halt for a bit during the lockdowns in the pandemic. So back in December last year, 2023, I received a few messages from some of you rad folk telling me that they were opening up busking auditions for the London Underground license. The initiative joint led by TfL and Busk in London, which is the street performance program organised by Faringdon Music. I decided I'd throw my hat in the ring. Why not? I'm a busker musician who documents his life on YouTube, trying to help out other musicians and buskers who might want to do the same. Firstly, I had to sign up to audition via the Faringdon Music website. In order to sign up, here's what they require. You need to be a musician aged 18 and above who is a resident of the UK and has the right to work in the UK. If you do get picked for the audition, you have to demonstrate proof of public liability insurance, as well as hold a basic disclosure and barring service, or a DBS as it's more commonly known. They're looking for a diverse group of buskers that reflect the culture and vibrancy of London. They were looking for individual musicians rather than groups. Interesting. All types of genres, including jazz, world music, pop and R&B. Musicians who can perform without plugging into the mains, e.g. using a battery-powered amp or performing acoustically. Musicians who can thrive on the London Transport Network, delighting customers in an operational station environment. The form asked for various details and needed to include a video of me playing in a stripped-back busking style. They asked for no glossy music videos. I also had to include all my social media links as well as a short bio. This initial stage was used as a vetting process. When I spoke to Kate from Faringdon Music at the audition, she told me that 700 buskers signed up to this, and of that 700, 280 were invited to audition. I got the confirmation in late January that my audition was to be held on the 29th of February. That leap year date, man. I love that leap year date. Only happens every 4 years. And because I'm ARP, I of course filmed it all for you. So here's how I got on at my audition. Alright, today is the day. We're off to Faringdon station this morning. It's early, it's like 7:30. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie. All I can do is go and do what I usually do. We made it. We're here. Okay, so they said to come to Faringdon station and that there'll be signposts. So, hello, I'm here for the busking audition.
Okay, and what's your name?
Hello.
Hi,
I'm here for the busking.
you're here for the busking, okay?
I don't know what's going on. No one seems to know what they're doing, but I'm sure it will all work out in the end. The London Underground auditions themselves were held between the 28th of February to the 14th of March. It's a lot of days of auditions. 280 performers to get through. They were all held across various London tube stations. The day I was auditioning was held at Faringdon station, in the heart of London. London City.
Are you doing busking?
Yeah.
Whereabouts have we got to go, you know?
You have to sign in there.
You
seem a bit unsure, but apparently it's just through the gates and round to the left. Yeah. Prior to the auditions, I had to submit a 10-song set list, of which I would play 2 songs for the audition. One that I chose and one that the judges chose. I think this was a measure put in place to make sure that we had proper busking set lists and you weren't just somebody that could only play 2 songs. Here it goes.
It's recording already.
Yeah.
But the frame is really,
Is it really bad?
it's bad.
It's alright, I'll sort it out in a minute.
No, I can arrange it.
Oh, thank you.
Just go stand your
Appreciate it. Camera photo.
I arrived in Faringdon at the ripe early hour of 9:30 AM. As expected, there was a little bit of confusion as to what was going on, but eventually I made it into the audition area. I had to bring my passport for some reason, some kind of identity check, I guess. We also had to bring our full busking setup, as if we were busking for real. I guess again, this was another measure put in place to make sure that we knew what we were doing. That if we got through the audition, that we'd know how to set up and have all the correct gear, etc, etc. Supposedly one of the things the judges were monitoring was our volume control, whether we'd set up and be loud enough or not too loud, which actually in Faringdon station was made more difficult because there was a lot of noise, a lot of train noise.
I'd like to play When It Rains It Pours by Luke Holmes. That's cool.
The auditions were split into groups of 4 performers. My group was the first of the day and I was the first musician to go up. There were 3 judges on the panel, one from Found in Music, one who was some well-known producer, supposedly, and the third was an operations manager from TFL.
Okay, I'm August Radio Project, that's who I go by. As well as a full-time busker, I also have a YouTube channel all about busking, which I document how it is to busk in various places and try to give other musicians an insight to what life as a busker is actually like. And I'd absolutely love to document how it is to busk on the London Underground.
Now I won't lie, I was pretty dang nervous. I'm not 100% sure why, but I think it's because getting this license means something to me.
A Sunday morning when she woke up fighting my head.
Getting this license wouldn't be just for me, it would be for this YouTube channel. Getting this license means I can document what it's like to be a busker on the London Underground.
Say that girl's as good as gold. And then when Thursday came and I was all alone.
I also think I had a lot of nerves because I haven't done an audition in at least 10 years. Probably like when I was at uni. A long time.
And then I won $100 on a scratch-off ticket for 2 12-packs and Tanker Car Street.
If you listen, you can kind of hear how shaky I am. I'm also playing the songs way faster than I would usually. And my voice is a little ropey from all the other days of busking I'd done prior to this audition. No audition was going to stop me doing my usual thing.
You know? Well, I gotta see my ex-future money anymore. Oh Lord, when it rains it pours.
The song I chose to play was When It Rains It Pours by Luke Combs. It's the song I open every busking sit up with. It's an easy song for me to sing, but also I figured it'd be a little different. I wanted to show the judges that I wasn't someone that plays all the generic pop classic hits, the so-called favourites.
And it's crazy how lately now it just seems to come your way.
If you've been following for any length of time, you'll know that most of my busking set is made up of either American country, pop punk, or original songs.
Thinking that her leaving's gotta be the only logical reason.
I did this because it's authentic to me, but also because I figured that most people auditioning would be singer-songwriters with an acoustic guitar. I also tried to get across that I had this YouTube channel, and that this busking license wasn't necessarily just for me. This was my USP, as it were.
Bucks at a moose blower, useful weeder and free pass. Me had two of my buddies to play around a goal.
This license isn't just about making money or getting my music out there, but showing the world what it's like on the London Underground.
Oh Lord, when it rains it pours. When it rains it pours, yeah.
The judges, as in most of these things, wore their poker faces well. They looked very despondent and didn't give anything away.
Oh Lord, when it rains it pours. When it rains it pours, yeah. Thank you so much.
The second song was the one they chose, and they asked me to play Basket Case by Green Day. A cracking song, if I do say so myself. Probably one of my favourites of all time.
Of course.
This is one of my favourite songs. So as a busker, I try to play something a little different. Things that I really like, in the hopes that other people like them too. Do you have the time to listen to me?
In all honesty, I would guess by the way they were reacting that they probably don't know the song. My favourite of the three judges by far was the woman from TFL. One of the dudes that auditioned after me used a loop pedal, and she was wearing some rad expressions as he sang and several voices came out.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me.
And I was mildly entertained by the passengers leaving the train on their daily commute to work, wondering why there was a blonde dude with an acoustic guitar playing a Green Day song at 10 in the morning at Faringdon station.
And I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Is that me done? Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And then it was done, like that. My audition was over. A dude called Coffee Music played after me, and he was the complete opposite to what I do. Cool as a cucumber, smooth and slow. He played like a Marvin Gaye cover. He sat down and then halfway through stood up, and it was gracious, kind of mesmerising. Although Kate from Founding Music did tell me that he had his amp up too loud and that the judges would probably mark him down for that. As I said, the volume was important. They don't want buskers showing up and playing too loud. Not on TFL, not on the London Underground. It's freaking loud in here. That was like the hardest thing about it. Woo! All the trains coming through, so I wasn't sure if I was loud enough, but Everyone's assured me that I was, so that's good. So we were told to get here for 9:20. The audition time was 20 to 10. There was 4 of us in the group, and then every 40 or so minutes there's a new group of 4 that come in. This is going on across 12 days. It's all sort of run by TfL and Busk in London, who are responsible for a lot of the busking in London, funnily enough. They've been doing them at different stations, so this is the first day that they've been doing it at this station, and I was the first one on, so a bit of a guinea pig moment for me. I'm not sure how well I did. I mean, the other 2 people that have played since me have both been fantastic. Shout out to Coffee Music, and I'll get the name of this dude who played now. There you go, see, there's the loudness. Wild. As I was playing, there was a lot of like folk just commuting, and they weren't really batting an eyelid, if I'm honest. It makes me question how effective the tube license would be, but you know, who knows? It does feel a bit weird coming all this way just to play 2 songs and then go. But I did watch everyone else in my group, so that was good. And they're starting the second group now, I guess. All right, over to future me, I think, to give you all of the other lowdown. On my journey home from the audition, if I'm honest, I felt a little strange. I really didn't enjoy the process, if I'm honest. I liked meeting the other buskers, but the actual audition itself felt kind of horrible. I don't like being judged for something that is kind of subjective, especially busking, which at its heart is all about spontaneity and connection, which is like the opposite of an audition. I waited a few weeks to hear back, and then I got an email. Okay, I've just received the email from TfL that tells me whether I've got the London Underground busking license. Let's find out whether I got it. No, I haven't got it. You have not been successful in gaining a place on our scheme. This should not be seen as a reflection of your talent, and we would encourage you to audition again in the future. We wish you luck in your musical endeavours, the TfL Busking Management Scheme. The thing is, right, it's their loss, because I was going to make some rad videos about busking on the underground, but I guess that won't happen now. Take care when leaving the train, and mind the gap as you alight, because this is where we're getting off, folks. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Why? Maybe the judges don't like Green Day, or even know who they are. Maybe I was a bit too shaky. Maybe the fact that I live in Brighton and I'm not in London at all had something to do with it. Reserving those busking spots for people who actually are in London and demonstrate the vibrancy of London. I mean, I'm much more of a beach looking dude anyway. Perhaps those licenses are better suited to people who are a cappella singers, or harp players, or violin players, jugglers, and more diverse styles of street entertainment. If I'm honest, for me, this feels like a good thing. It really does. I'm stoked and sort of relieved that I don't have to spend my summer in the London Underground. I love busking and I love adventuring. I love standing in the sun and interacting with different folks of the street. Not rushed commuters who are trying to get somewhere desperately. The tube is kind of hectic and has a very tense energy. I'm not sure that's what I'm about. Not getting this license means I don't have to spend so much time in London, and I can get on with my plans, like traveling further afield. And I need my vitamin D, man. I need my vitamin D. Look at these freckles. For those that are curious, if I had been successful in the audition, the next part of the process would be to send over my public liability insurance and my DVS form. Then once given the license, again, Kate from Faringdon Music, shout out Kate, she told me that it's an online booking system. You don't just rock up to the spots. You have to go on TfL and book where you're gonna be and what days. She told me that this supposedly is gonna work on a 2-week rota, where you tell the booking system what days and times you want to busk, and it assigns you the pitches. She said this is a measure so that the busier pitches and the better times don't get hogged up by the same people, which is pretty cool. And for anyone that's interested, the London Underground busking licenses won't open for approximately 2 years, making all the information in this video somewhat irrelevant till then. But I do appreciate you watching this far, and hopefully you learned something. As for me, it's back to busking on the sunny south coast of England on those bread and butter days, as well as travelling further afield, doing my busking adventures as usual. And of course, making more videos. Freaking love this life, man. So good. I played a gig the other day in London, and it's had a profound effect on me, if I'm honest. Because a couple of you rad folks showed up to it. Not only did you show up, but you sang every single word to my song To The Beach. and Crossroads.
I'll ride the wave on this wave, I'll jump into the sea, yeah. Tell me which one to the beach, but now there's nowhere else to go. Woo! This is blowing my mind so.
You got fans here, baby, come on.
Lockdown gonna get us down. Then she turned to me like, seriously, man, I need to get away. Now she said, tell me which way to the beach. I need something sweet and sweet.
I can't get over that feeling. It hasn't gone away, and it's got me thinking, it's time to release some more music. It's time to get some more gigs. I want to experience that feeling again, man. And maybe this time even more of you will show up. I don't know. If you were successful on getting the London Underground busking license, then well done. It was quite the process to get it. Maybe drop a comment on this video and let us know. How was it for you? How was the experience? Similarly, if you busk or have busked on the Underground, drop a comment below and let us know how that is. Does it live up to expectations? Let us know. Woo! Like the vid if you did. Subscribe if you're new around here. Turn those notifications on. If you want to leave me an online donation, the super thanks button is right there. And if you want to commit to monthly donations, then you can sign up to my Patreon, where you'll see some exclusive content every single month. If you want something in return, I have merch. It's on my website. I have a rad notebook and some really cool stickers. Stick them on your case, on your amp. Spread the word. ARP's here to stay. All the links are below. Also, stay tuned for announcements regarding live streams. It's about time I did one. I'm gonna do one next week. I'll write a community tab post letting you know when. Alternatively, follow me on all the other social media. I'm August Radio Project and I make videos every Monday. Until next week, you can watch the one that comes up on the screen or check out the many others on my channel. I appreciate you being here, appreciate you for being you. Peace, love and happiness.
I've got to say that she agrees. Well, she can see exactly what I mean.